Greetings, greetings, greetings to everyone and everything. We are the Dawn of Ascension show, and I am here with my Ascension Soul team, Susie, Gina, and Aubrey, and we're here to share our tools, our views, and our journey through these wild and wonky and crazy vibrations that we're living in every moment of every day. Today, our subject is embracing change. Humans equate sameness with stability. Sameness with we like stability when the only consistent in the universe is change. Consistent trust and building trust within ourself and within our heart and trusting ourselves to act out of love is the stability we're looking for and we're striving for. That's what we want and that's what we need. It's the goal. Aubrey, I know you have lots to share on this beautiful subject. Go, girl.
Thanks, Arlene. So, like Arlene said, change is the only constant in the universe. As we kind of expand our own consciousness and connect into Source, you'll find that the whole point of all of this, of all of existence, is to learn and grow and evolve. And so, to do that, that means that in any given universe that you're in, right now we're in this one and we're in the human experience, there are rules, so to speak, that kind of keep the experience consistent. However, that those rules are always subject to change. And so what we need to do in order to kind of ride that wave is to find consistency in ourselves. So we do that by practicing self-love and practicing love for the things around you and tapping into the unity consciousness field. And pretty soon, change isn't so scary anymore because even when you change, you can still trust yourself to be acting out of your highest capability to love, which is always infinite. I don't know what else to say on that today. There's a lot to say on change, but it's just kind of the truth is that we often make it more complicated than it needs to be. And we're here to experience and that an experience means that things don't stay the same. And when we think that that sameness is stability and sameness is safety and sameness is security, then we start looking for all of our own safety and security and stability to be external. And the world right now is changing, which means that we're not that you can't rely on your external world staying the same in order to feel that sense of safety. And it's time to look inside of yourself and find it in the way that you react to things.
Perfect. Very well put. Life is the adventure. We're here for the adventure, and the adventure is the change, and the stability is tuning into yourself and following yourself, your higher self, and your heart.
Mhm.
Gina, what you got?
Well, as we're talking about this, what comes is I've watched as people around me with change tend to feel that as their world is changing around them, it's almost an attack on them, and so they lash out with anger or frustration or that the world is against them. You can't react. The world is changing now, and it's not an attack. It's change, and you have to look in within yourself and realize that you have to go with the flow. You have to see how your heart wants you to react or to cope with the changes that are happening. It's almost what I'm hearing right now is it's time to F grow up. That's what my guides or the universe is telling me right now. It's really time for us to wake up, grow up, and really become look at how perfect you are in the change and know that the more you can take slow, deep breaths and see see what is changing in your environment and how can you best work with those changes. The answers will come and it will be the most positive for you in this timeline.
I
Oh, that was, go ahead.
I think Gina also brings up a really good point about flow, because as all of these changes are happening in the on the planet, it's very easy to be looking at the changes in the future from a future perspective and being like, oh my gosh, that's going to happen and this is going to happen. And when you're in universal flow, it happens now. The change happens now. So look at what changes are happening in the now, both externally, but also especially internally. Like spending time being afraid of what might happen is only going to make sure that does happen. But we all have the ability right now, to start choosing into this flow and change and evolutionary process. And this is where it happens. It's here and now. It's not over there.
Absolutely right. That's where the adventure is, in the here and now. That's what adventure is, right here. And Gina has a really sassy group that she works with. Susie, what do the fairies have to say about change and flow and adventure?
Thank you so much, Arlene. The fairies always have lots to say. And today they would like to talk about stromatolite and fern. I'm really excited about this card. It has to do about Akasha, strict back and simplify, looking at your origins. It has the earth and the symbol water here. And stromatolite was one of the first living organisms on Earth about 3.7 billion years ago. And it was made of layers of fossilized cyanobacteria. I had to practice a couple times to say that word. And its energy is slow and steady and ready to teach you the value of patience on your journey. And I know we can use a lot of that. And it's happy just to sit back and help you be calm and relaxed. But if you want to move forward and push on faster, it's very adaptable. And there's a reason why it's survived for so many years. And it speaks also of stripping back and uncloaking the fear that we hold on to. And it wants just to simplify and to bring a fresh perspective on what is needed in your life right now, as opposed to what is wanted. And stromatolite also holds a grandfather energy, like knowing, confident, and reassuring. And it takes you back to the beginning of life, connecting you to when energy was pure. And it just wishes to assist you in activating your first memories on Earth. Our ancestors knew that all living things were connected through the crystalline grid, and its energy will just clear the pathways and just hold you in wholeness. Wow. Now that was just stromatolite. Now we get to the fern part. And fern is just as ancient as stromatolite, one of the oldest living plants on Earth with a connection to water. And each one holds universal seeds of opening awareness. And ferns just love to work with the third eye, the heart, the womb, and it just brings stability and opening. Um, So allow the fern to bring in fresh energy and change. And I think I'm going to get me one of these ferns in my house. It just sounds so amazing. All right, Aubrey, our quantum tarot card for today is the Two of Cups binary system. Now, the binary system represents a pair of stars that are in perpetual orbit around each other. And we have this reassuring grandfather energy, like shown to us through stromatolite. So, Aubrey, could this mean that we're maybe being drawn to our most like ancient and purest state?
Absolutely, Susie. That's exactly what it means. We are currently in a process right now to embody a level of wholeness that we haven't seen on the planet in quite some time. And I feel like the Two of Cups, especially if you're talking about the binary system, we're talking about a very quiet return into our hearts. The Two of Cups also often brings in a friend and kind of a mirror energy. But for me, that also looks like the Vesica Pisces, which is a sacred geometry shape that I wish we would know we were talking about because I would have a picture of it. But it's two circles that cross each other, and it's this shape right in the middle of it. And that shape is the beginning of it's the basis of our math for the 2 and 3 squared. Like I'll there's a whole thing that I teach in a class about it, but it's the geometry for our eyes. It's for like true vision, and it's also a true mirror of the universe. And it's kind of this idea of do I exist or do I not exist? And we can't truly exist until we can see ourselves through another pair of eyes. And so spending time in that stillness and kind of like getting into the spiral and the flower of life and the most simplified versions of the universe is what's going to most help us right now. Everyone's just calm down and find some stillness, because that's really what we're being asked to do.
Oh, wow. And stillness is so wonderful. It's so wonderful just to calm down and just find some, because that's your way of recharging yourself for the venture of going with the flow. If anyone has any questions or if they have anything that they would like to express about this, please drop it in the comments section. We would like glad to answer it. But I do think we do have some incoming. Who wants to beep, 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 beep? Who wants to chat with us today, Aubrey?
Today we have a visit from the Jaguar, which is a pretty powerful spirit to be coming in like this. I'm very surprised, frankly. I would like to take a moment to honor the Jaguar for coming in, because that it is a very, very medicinal consciousness to be joining us today. And one of the things that the Jaguar is saying is to there are a lot as all of this ancient wisdom is being brought into the present. There are keepers of this wisdom that have been for generations holding the spark of this very ancient knowledge. And they were mainly in indigenous practices that we can see it. But as this information is coming into the present, those practices are now being more and more opened. And so the Jaguar is calling everyone who feels called to practice, to find those indigenous practices that really honor the earth. There are you can see it in our waste cycles. We have a not very sustainable waste cycle. We produce a lot of trash right now in our current state. And the indigenous practices used to have a very cyclical nature of the way that we use things on our planet, that everything always gets used and recycled into the flow of nature. And so we're being called right now to find what practices speak to us and what ways we can honor the earth, because is a great deal of gratitude that we have lost in our culture for the earth and for our mother and for our existence here. And it's time to reclaim those practices and engage in them.
Oh, what a beautiful message. I could see that jaguar just holding space around us as you were talking, just circling and holding space. What a powerful, powerful energy. Well, we would like to thank everyone for joining us on the Dawn of Ascension
Ascension.
show.
No.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.